Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day number 295 on our daily updates on the war in Ukraine and our continuing support. 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock California, 4 a.m. in Ukraine. Yes, we do have Zhenya with us tonight. I want to thank him for taking care of the update last night. I was traveling back from New York. You guys saw the video. The stuff is already en route, and what else can we say but thank you. Going to be exciting when we're there in a couple of weeks to be delivering those goods to the front, putting it in a soldier's hand, and showing you your goodness and your care. So thank you very, very much. Got in late last night, all rested up and ready to go. We've got the update ready for tonight. It has turned out to be a massively important day. No, 100 missiles are not flying today, but so much information came out of Ukraine today. This will probably be one of the top 10 informational updates we've given just off the statements of some key players there in Kyiv. So we will update you completely. And with that said, thank you, as always, to our moderators for watching the chat, keeping everybody talking there and enjoying ourselves. So thank you. Be blessed. And it's time to say good morning, sir.
Good evening, friends.
Nice to see you. We have matching sweatshirts on tonight. That was not planned, but we'll take it. You doing all right?
Yeah, last night, usually you say it like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. in California, and yesterday, I didn't do it before. Yesterday I was quite busy, so I said, and 4 a.m. I had to say in Ukraine, but I said, and 4 a.m. in the morning.
I know. I watched the video later.
But it's okay.
It was good.
Yeah.
But man, you're speaking
crazy.
you're speaking in your third language. You know what I'm saying? You learned Russian first, then Ukrainian, of course, and then English. So hey, we're very thankful to have a Ukrainian in here every night, pretty much, that we're talking to. So we've got a full update. Right before we went live tonight, you and I were discussing just 5 minutes ago, how are we at day 295?
It's unbelievable. I was sending my wife outside and to other country. I said, okay, maybe a month, maybe two, just wait, and then you'll get back. Don't worry, everything will be fine. And I was telling to other people, maybe 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost 300 days.
And of course, we will be here on day 300, but hopefully there's not a day 300, to be honest with you. But there's going to be. Ukraine came out with a lot of information today from President Zelensky, Reznikov, Zaluzhny. This is not ending anytime soon, and we're actually expecting a major escalation. Lots of things are pointing to that, and we'll break that down tonight for everybody. And that is why day 295 is turning out to probably be one of the 10 most important updates we've given. Now, before we get there, though, unfortunately, Kherson is de-energized completely. There's no power.
Yeah. And not just Kherson, and the part of the villages around as well. And it was their goal. This is the Russian nature.
You remember
the way they
You remember it was their city. Even Vladimir Putin himself said, Kherson is ours. How can you destroy your own city?
In their words, it never been their city by in the eyes of people from Kherson. They never expected, never accepted it, and it's still now. So it makes them nervous because it's like nobody is starting loving other just because he is like pointing a gun into your head. So it's like doesn't work. Doesn't work.
We would say it this way: it's going to backfire because all the people you oppressed for all those months, and then trying to persuade them that you're the savior, and then you withdraw and then destroy the city. What you've actually done is made a lot of people angry that will now want to defend their territory even more. Ukraine, that is. So we'll see.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
big city that's in the news today, unfortunately, and this has been quiet lately, relatively, but Kharkiv. Kharkiv under major shelling today. That's the information coming directly from Igor Terehov, who is the mayor. Infrastructure is being hit hard in Kharkiv.
I think they're checking our positions, so they know the situation with the lack of. We do not have enough artillery systems to all the front line, let's say, and we have some troubles with the shellings, with the shells, and as well the systems. I mean, we're really like limited, and this is they can send just couple their vehicles which can going there and back with MLRS, for example, and it will be challenging for us because at this moment we have really enough people in our army for fighting for our country, but we don't have enough equipment, the weapon that
We've
way.
talked about that advantage for months. Sometimes it's like 7-1, 9-1, 10-1, the amount of shells being fired. And that's what we're seeing in Kharkiv and in other regions. And that's why the cry's been, please supply us. We've got the army, we've got the skill, but we do not have the weapons. Remember, we gave up all of our weapons. Now, on the flip side, another day, another fire. This is too coincidental. So what was burning today in Russia? Here it is. That is an petroleum and oil refinery in Irkutsk. Was.
It is, let's say like this, the facts. It's the biggest refinery station in the Irkutsk region, and on that north part, the big region, I mean, and it one of the biggest in Russia, one of the 5 biggest in Russia. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe because the things like that, they usually commenting that it was somebody was smoking in the wrong place. I don't know reality, but every morning we have one more place where they were smoking the wrong way.
We have a slang here, Zhenya, that says if there's smoke, there's fire. And I can see random fires here and there, but not like this. It's every day, basically. And most of these are kind of strategic places. It could be large factories, or in this case, one of the top 5 oil refineries in the country. And people may say, well, it's way up there in the north. That doesn't matter. They have to refine the fuels and put it on a train and get it down to the war, or get it down to Moscow. That's just normal supply lines. So it's a big deal, and we're watching it. Now, another thing that we've been paying attention to is Viktor Bout. Here he comes again. A few days ago, we talked about him joining the Liberal Party there that was started by Zhirinovsky, right? Well, now
I remember.
He not only has he's a card-carrying member, as you can see here, when he was certified with that party. That's that picture. But now, Viktor Bout is the head over the St. Petersburg, which is second largest city in Russia, the Wagner division. So Viktor Bout has went from the prison in just 7-10 days, top dog in a political party, and now the head of the Wagner division in St. Petersburg. This guy, they're just going to keep promoting him and promoting him and promoting him. Here's Proud Boot talking about his allegiance to Russia.
У тебя портрет Путина висел в камере.
Да, всегда.
Почему?
А почему бы и нет? Я горжусь тем, что я русский человек, и наш президент Путин.
Once again, being interviewed. That was a different interview. The other interview I showed you was at the daytime, and this was actually at a different time and different channel. They're putting his face everywhere. What do you think about it?
I think they needed a kind of fresh face on the political stage. And I think this man, okay, let's think like from perspective of the Soviet type mindset. Oh, we have a person who was sitting in an American prison years, and he was so faithful to Putin and to Russia, and now finally they trade him, and he's here. Yeah, he's a kind of hero, and he has potential. Yes, this American system never broke him down. Yeah, he's ready to do something for Soviet Russia.
This was the complexities of that trade that I got a lot of hate mail over, and here we go again. Where's the hate mail now? We knew what was going to happen, and it's not about just a basketball player. I don't like, of course, we leaving our troops there, but here's the more and most important reason. We knew what they would do with Victor Bout. They would turn him instantly into a hero for the propaganda. I have overcome the American prison. Putin was on my wall. No, they did not give me strawberries or dill and hamburgers every Wednesday, but I made it. And now we see him taking that leadership. That is why when America made this trade, we should have gotten everybody back. All of our soldiers. Brittany Griner, fine. You can jump on the plane too. But the bottom line, we knew what would happen because we understand this Soviet mindset. This is exactly what they're going to do, turn him into a hero. It's terrible.
Yeah. What to say?
But there's nothing to say. Exactly. Let's look at the main topic for the day. The main topic of the day is day 295. We really thought, I thought maybe when this started a week or two, what did you think when the war started? For real.
The first week?
Yeah, the first week. What did you think? How long would this go?
Okay, I was hoping that the countries some of the NATO countries will wake up, and they will say, okay, no, this is too much now. It's time for Russia to stop. We cannot watch it like just being outside and watch what's going on. Well, how the big Russia, invading Ukraine, which is 28 times less, smaller, and I was expecting that. But then I was thinking about how it's possible, how much they will take, because I was reading the news, and I was reading, we lost. We lose there. We lost that territories, and I was hoping that somebody will help us. I didn't expect that we will be facing it like so long time. Thank you for javelins. That moment, it really did help us.
Javelins were a big help, but we're kind of.
I didn't expect now. Yeah, and now then I was really waiting that, okay, maybe Putin was, putting a threat on the people in the world, and then I said, okay, probably it's time. Okay, world should understand already for this moment that there is no, we cannot, experiencing that fear anymore. We need to stop it. We cannot be motivated by that. And so at this moment, it's like really like a waving, long way of like moving something heavy, because I think it could be much easier if 100% of the world would say, "Hey, no, 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 no. Here, everything we have. Okay, we're not going there. Here's everything we have." And yes, like for the Belarusia, I didn't expect, but now I do expect anything.
That brings us to this. This is what we need to break down before we give the world tonight Zaluzhny's quotes. So, just look at this map. Over the last couple of days, there's been rumblings that the United States is working to send some Patriot systems to Ukraine. So, they are not there. Do not misunderstand. They are not in Ukraine. But Washington is talking about sending Patriots. Let's leave that thought right there. You see the map here. You see Kyiv in the blue circle. Up in the upper right, you see Moscow. Above Ukraine, you see Belarus. Over the last few days, tanks, equipment, soldiers, complete infrastructure, refueling systems, everything is piling up, not only on the Ukrainian border, but also on the Polish and the Lithuanian border. That whole pocket there, that Brest region, loading up. This is not hearsay. These are facts. Upper left corner. U.S. comes out in the last 24 hours or so and says, we're planning to give Ukraine smart bomb kits, meaning, as I was reading about it, they're better equipped to be precision and to be precise with their attacks. And even it's not a cluster munition specifically, but they cluster out and hit their targets. So basically, in a nutshell, as I was understanding them, and I know our military guys in here will clarify it in the chat. So that's what we see happening in the West. Last 24 hours, Russia publicly moves a RS-24 Yars system, massive ICBM, to the Kaluga region. They do it openly. They put out a news bulletin about it, and they tell not only their nation, but they tell the world, we've got this in position in place. Now, of course, people are going to go, well, why don't we just knock it out? I'm sure we would try and do our best. We do not know exactly where it's at, but it's in the Kaluga region. What is this Yar system? Well, the mass is 49,600 kilograms, length 230 meters, diameter 2,000 millimeters, warhead at least 3 to 6 MRVs with 3 to 500 kiloton warheads, or 6 to 9 150 kiloton warheads. I know people are asking now, is it nuclear? It can be, absolutely 100%. The operational range, 11,000 kilometers. Basically, it can reach anywhere, to be quite honest. And maximum speed over Mach 20, 24,500 kilometers, or 15,200 miles per hour. I'm going to show the video, and then we'll get you thoughts, because what is happening, if you look at this map in this region, this area centered on the war in Ukraine is becoming so heavily weaponized right now. I think that's why we realize today, 295, this war's not close to ending. Not at all. Here we go.
Внимание, расчет, получен приказ. Дублирую приказ. Представляю донесение за пусковой установки.
Первый, все пусковые установки боеготовы, задержек пуску нет.
Внимание, расчет, получен приказ.
Есть.
Дублирую приказ.
Just like videos we've shown before, but this one's the YARS system in the Kaluga region, set up today and broadcast for the world to see. What do you think? How heavily militarized this area is getting? I know the propaganda side of it, but the fact is it's there.
Yes, but I think the most serious things are hidden in the forest underground, and so this is like this is theater, the drama for people in Belarus and Russia at first, to encourage them that how strong Russia is, that everything will be fine, nobody will touch Russia, that they about to win the war, but they never will. And it's maybe for the other countries, like because you see it's a spectacular thing, you know, recording all of that from different angles, how big this vehicle are, how serious and unusual to see all of that, you know, big toy, let's say, and how okay, North Korea are doing it regularly.
This is to give
And
security to the Russian people that we're okay.
yes,
And,
and
are
maybe
you saying
for
you're saying there's missiles and warheads in the forest hidden, ready to go?
I think yes. I'm sure that the most serious it's not the people they are showing to people. They publishing it. Okay, here it is, going slowly there. That's easy. I think it's easy to track if I mean where and what forest is it, what kind of roads they were using. It's not a problem. Plus, UK intelligence, United States intelligence. I mean, they see it from the first move there. So I think it's like reality is much more serious. But yeah, it's like a sign. Look how Russia. I mean, how Russia is crazy about that.
Well, it brings us to this point, and well, we'll just share it. This is Zaluzhny. We expect and prepare for winter invasion today. He, which that is the top general for Ukraine, also Reznikov, defense minister, and President Zelensky himself. All three of these top leaders came out today and said, we see and we are preparing and prepared for a winter invasion. So what they're talking about is, here we have Belarus, of course, and we've already looked at this, but the buildup cannot be ignored. And then even though the battles are raging here on the front lines all the way across, Russia is pushing in up to 200,000 more foot soldiers. And yeah, most of it's cannon fodder, but it doesn't matter. So they're seeing just this progression, and I'll read the quotes and then we'll get your thoughts on it. So this is what Zaluzhny said right here. Direct quotes from his statements today. Ukrainian air defense has an efficiency coefficient of 0.76, which means that out of 100 Russian missiles, 24 reach the target. Ukraine is able to shoot down 76% of the missiles. He then said, I'm not an energy specialist, but it seems to me that we are on the verge. And if the power grid is destroyed, then the soldiers' wives and children's will start to freeze. Third, to get to the borders of Crimea, we need to overcome 84 kilometers to Melitopol. From there, we could have full control of the land corridor, and that would be to Crimea. He says, I trust my generals, but since the beginning of the war, I have fired 10 of them. This was his report today on day 295. And another one shot himself. And then he talks about some of the Russian leaders, about Surovikin. This is an ordinary commander from the times of Peter the Great, a cruel martinet. You look at him and understand that either you complete the task or it is the end of you. In Ukraine, this approach does not work. Additionally, he said, the occupying authorities are working to switch the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant to the energy system of the Russian Federation. We've talked about this and said, technically it's not possible. They can't connect it, but I don't know. That's what they're doing. They're trying, and this is directly from Zaluzhny. So this is what come out day 295, and we're talking about hoping the war's going to end, and we didn't expect it to go this long, but now we see Yars parades and Zelensky and the top leadership saying we're expecting it to get a little tough here in January and February. What's your thoughts?
I think it's obvious, and the strong power part of Russia is the quantity of soldiers. They don't count many of them dying and how fast. This is what we see from different from situation on the Bakhmut area, and they are not a group of like from the school. It's a people. It's 150,000 of prepared soldiers now. They're preparing more, and the mobilization process never stopped in Russia. And their strong part is a quantity. So sometimes on the battlefield it's 1 to 10, and it's not really easy. I mean, it's a big power from that side. And yes, on the Bakhmut area, they're using it and they sending waves with the groups by 30 people. And as the ones are being perished, they're sending right there the new one group. This is what Russia does, and we understand that in general, they already lost on the political and on the battlefield. They lost a lot. Russia lost a lot, but if they will not change something, the situation inside of Russia will be, catastrophically will be changed. And this is so for them. Their idea is just to push and to get as much more territory they can. Doesn't matter the price for them. And yes, sanctions are working. Maybe not the way we were expecting, but they are working. So Russia will do something. We were expecting, but we were expecting it the springtime. But everything now says that it can be January easy. It can be February. Plus, we see the technique, all of these moves, on the Belarusian territory, and it shows they can continue playing this non-stop all December and January until the day of new invasion. They want to open the two fronts.
Zaluzhny said today that, and I think this is why they're coming out and saying it today on 295. Zaluzhny said, if another invasion occurs, if we're not re-equipped, meaning I need 500 tanks, I need 700 troop carriers, I need X amount of multiple rocket launcher systems or multiple launch rocket systems, MLRS. I need these numbers. If we do not have them, it's going to be very difficult for us. But if we have them, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. But please, we need this. And the numbers were up there. So, of course, all the strategists for both sides know this. And it's like a timing game now, a game of time. And that is, can Ukraine get supplied before? Or maybe that will make Russia not push this second invasion, if that's what they so plan. It's just like moving of the pieces right now. And we come to what we've said from day one. Ukraine needs equipment. They need equipment.
Yeah.
Do you think, let me ask the question. Right now today, December the 15th, 9:33 p.m. Eastern, 4:33 a.m. in Ukraine, December 16th for you. Do you think it's greater than 50% chance that Russia invades again with a large assault? 50%.
Yes, if our guys will not start first and change the situation on Melitopol and Donetsk and Svatova and Avdiivka, and because if our guys will do a first step and the big one, then it can change their plans, but it can make their invasion from the south, from the north, quicker, but not so strong, because for them it will be like. So I don't know. I think I trust our commanders.
Second question, and then we'll move to the last piece for tonight. And this is about Kyiv. It leads us perfectly into the last piece of the update tonight. Do you think really they would push on Kyiv a second time?
Yeah, I think so. They may try. One more time. If our guys will not break all their plans by something surprising, and our north borders are really uncomparable strong with the day on the February 24th. All bridges are under control. They mined everything. All of this territory, plus our commanders, they holding some serious amount of prepared soldiers on the north side, close to borders, and they're not involving them in the battles of Bakhmut or Avdiivka or Gulay-Pole. So I think we prepared quite, but
And,
we will
and
see.
you know this.
We will
you
see.
know this
If,
from direct source.
if it, yeah, and if it will be like this, continuing being like we have it right now, that there is hard battles, crazy hard battles on the east side of our country, and Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Zaporizhia area, different places, and they have enough soldiers and technique preparing at the same time on the north. Yes, they will use it. They will use that possibility. So we
Well,
hope.
that brings us to this. And if you're watching tonight and you've never had the joy to visit Ukraine when this war is over, you need to. Unless you want to go there and volunteer, we can make some connections for you with organizations. But in the future, when we've won the war, you need to go visit. And one of the cities that you will need to see is the city of Kyiv. Kyiv is huge. There's no other word. And when you're riding through Kyiv, you see these massive apartment buildings. Massive. And it just goes for kilometers and kilometers. People live vertically, not horizontally. You understand? People live vertically. So, of course, power, elevators, even you've experienced that, become so important, especially for people that are older or health conditions. Got this little piece I want to share with you. We'll get your thoughts on that, Zhenya, and we'll get you to bed. Right here on elevators in Kyiv.
Сейчас свет в больших городах отключают чаще не по графику, а экстренно, непредвиденно, без предупреждений. Ну и как следствие, количество застрявших в лифтах увеличилось в разы.
В лифті є хто? Чекайте, зараз звільню.
Після ударів по інфраструктурі стало набагато більше роботи, прям в рази прибавилось, бо в зв'язку з тим, що екстрені відключення, багато людей застряє в ліфтах і треба їздити їх звільняти. Єдине, що важко, це ходити по поверхах, бо в нас багато високоповерхових будинків.
Жители многоэтажек, конечно, сейчас стараются лишний раз в лифте не ездить, но если ты живешь, например, на 33-м этаже, подняться наверх, особенно если ты пожилой человек или с маленьким ребенком, это еще то испытание.
Я на зустріч запізнився на зустріч, прийдеться йти. СМС-кою відправив, що я відпочиваю в ліфту.
Ну а еще в лифтах некоторых киевских высоток сейчас можно найти специальные коробки, в которых собрано все необходимое на случай, если вы там вдруг застрянете. Вода, салфетки, легкий перекус, ну и так далее. Такие коробки собирают сами жители и часто те, кто уже просидел не один час в застрявшем лифте.
That's the real story of elevators and power. Which I know you've experienced it, so what's your thoughts on that clip right there? It's reality, right?
Yeah, it's reality, and it's. Yeah, I don't know about Kyiv. In Khmelnytsky, our guys, the elevator service is doing great. Yeah, in the worst days, up to 2.5 hours, and 3 hours, people were sitting. But now, I mean, my experience, my daughter experience, my friend's experience, it's usually it's 30-40 minutes, not more. But it's really hard. I mean, like for people, I mean, just sitting unexpected. There is no hello.
You've been trapped in an elevator.
Yeah.
Your daughter's been trapped in an elevator.
Yes.
Your friends have been trapped in an elevator.
Yeah.
Were y'all all in the same elevator at the same time?
No.
Okay.
Different days. Just, I mean, now we're more wise because we know the phone number. Because the first time I started, there is no internet coverage. It's not possible. You cannot search in the Google where to call. Then it's like, okay, I was not ready. Plus, it's a call time. There is no chair there. I mean, yes, okay, but it depends on the time you're sitting there. But
Well,
40 minutes.
think about this, and this is what we'll close with because I know JDO will be popping in the chat here in a second. Think about people in cold basements, or think about people that don't have power tonight, and let that be your focus as we continue to support and be here every day. You're healthy, and you live on the 16th floor. And I was watching you, because I got the multiple screens here. While that video was playing, you could see that huge building behind that man. And then the lady was giving the example of elderly people living on the 33rd floor. Think about yourself having to walk 16 floors. Now double it. It's very difficult.
Yeah, I will give you a quote. My mother-in-law, she says, "Oh, you have not a worst situation with this, the way up." I said, "What do you mean? The stairs, the way?" Because it's possible at your place. It's possible to stop and even put a bag somewhere and to rest a little bit.
That's true. You live in a nice
And
building.
in other places, she says it's not like this. Yeah. And
Well, let's give folks one other thought, Zhenya, on this specifically, with the power gone and people. Let's just say they have to walk up 9 floors, which is standard in a lot of buildings, or 16. Kyiv has the monsters, 30 and 40 floors, but just say a 9 floor, but there's no power. What you have to remember is, unless you have a light, it's pitch black. It's dark. So you're trying to also maneuver in very dark, and it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, but the right comment was, yes, I agree completely. That we're talking about like the comfort thing, like elevator. People are looking for the safe routes to get food somewhere without stepping on a mine, because so many mines, so it's like uncomparable. Yeah,
Right.
we're making joke with each other and saying, okay, I mean, is it your first? I mean, the physical training today? Oh no, it's a third one. Okay, got it. Have a nice day. And we make, but for other people, on the mines, people getting on the mines.
Yeah, on
In
the
Ukraine.
lines, on the
Civilian
front lines
people.
are deoccupied. Even trying to go get milk and bread, you risk your life, not risk being tired. So
Yeah.
yep,
The
day
kids,
295, important day, and we'll be watching. But for sure, doesn't look like we're ending anytime soon. So our support will not end. We're here until victory, and victory will happen. It's going to happen. Thank you, bud.
Yes. Thank you.
All right, everybody.
Thank you, and thank you to all people who support Ukraine now. For us, it's the way we can stand.
It's important,
Thank you.
and you feel it.
Important.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to show
Absolutely.
that video last night, and I took some time to make it. I want people to feel it, that have given, that they're a part of helping. Right now, all those boxes and pallets are on the way to Ukraine. So makes you feel good that we're doing our part to help. All right, bud. Rest well. Thank you. Have a great night, and we'll chat tomorrow. I'll say it first. Good night to all.
To all, a good night. To the heart.